What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to our video. We've got a lot of NASCAR news to get into today. Let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. So the first thing we're going to talk about is a news report that came out over the weekend about Germain Racing. Let's go. According to Bob Pockers, this is what he said. Germain Racing confirms Geico has told team it won't return to sponsor number 13 car in 2021. Team has said with no sponsor sign is sworn sale of team. My understanding is Geico won't sponsor any team in NASCAR or other motorsports in 2021. Series deal remains. Really sucks if Germain Racing does have to shut down at the end of this year. That's been the rumor that's been going on over the week. A lot of people have been saying that there's a good chance that Germain might shut down, and I think that has set sail, and there's a very good chance that Germain Racing will be selling at the end of this season. In my honest opinion, I hope that Germain does not shut down. I have a suggestion for Germain. Why not go back and run in the truck series where you guys were championship caliber teams? You know, Germain Racing in the truck series dominated back in the day with Todd Bodine, where they went on to win 2 championships with that organization. Had pretty good success in the truck series. And you want a perfect example, look at Front Row Motorsports. Front Row Motorsports currently at the moment, they're doing all right in Cup, but not too great. They're kind of like a back marker team, but they're not a back marker team. But they're kind of like a 25th to 30th place team in a lot of weeks. But you look at the Truck Series program, and their Truck Series program, of course, they have DJR Crossley kind of partnered up with them. Maybe they get partnership with GMS and they kind of work with them if they are to run the Truck Series. I think it'd be a really good decision because you look at DJR Crossley's Front Row Motorsports, and they are competing for a playoff spot right now with Todd Gillen, and Todd Gillen has drastically improved. I think it'd be a really good decision for Germain Racing to probably go back and run in the NASCAR Truck Series. But on Germain Racing, they're not sponsoring them probably because, again, they're not running up front, and because fans are limited capacity a lot of these races. Some races don't have fans at all, and with limited ventures, they're not allowed to go out. Their people brought out, like their sponsor, people who work in the sponsor are not allowed to go out there, so they're not getting much TV time. They're basically the only TV time they're basically getting is, of course, during commercials, and of course when they're basically getting live because Ty Dillon's running 25th to 30th place around every single week, which isn't terrible. But when you have a big sponsor like Geico, they want a lot more out of it, so it's no surprise. So what happens if Germain Racing does end up shutting down at the end of this year? Well, I think that this is going to happen. I think they're going to give the charter RCR. RCR, they are partnered up with RCR. Remember this. They have a partnership with RCR. I think RCR takes a third charter and they get a 3-car team. And I think Ty Dillon probably would end up joining probably in the 31 car or a different car, depending on what Rich Childress decides. That could be what happens, but I don't want to see any team shut down. I hope that my suggestion, maybe them going back around the truck series and partnering up with a team, maybe it's possible, but it's no surprise. I mean, this pandemic has caused a lot of teams possibly shut down. I think we're starting to see the ramifications. And I won't be surprised in the future if we see more organizations that do end up shutting down here really soon. It really sucks, and I hope the Germain doesn't really shut down, but I have a really bad feeling that they're going to shut down at the end of this year, and that is an unfortunate. And they're going to sell a team to some organization. Or maybe Trackhouse takes Justin Moore's team, maybe takes the charter. Who really knows? On to the next story. More sponsorships and more partnerships for Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace is announcing a new clothing collab with Urban Outfitters today. Great news for Bubba Wallace. More stuff for Bubba. You know, he's got DoorDash, Cash App, all those sponsors he's been able to pick up. And now he's got his own clothing line. And I think it's like there's some charity that goes along with that as well. I think that is really cool, if we're going to be honest. Bubba, man, is doing a lot for NASCAR. And many people see that, and Bubba's is probably an awesome individual and a great guy. He's been doing a lot for the sport, and I like what he's believing in. I'm glad that Bubba is continuing to do things like this. It's great to see this news come out earlier today. On to the next story. Kurt Busch is going to be joining the Fox Sports 1 booth for the Truck Series at Richmond this weekend and 6 playoff races in the NASCAR Truck Series. This is going to be a great addition for FS1. Kurt Busch has commentated in multiple races this year. He commentated at Kentucky and also commentated at Bristol with his brother Kyle Busch for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. But I think Kurt Busch will bring a lot to the table. He actually, I think, did a really good job with Fox Sports when he was over there, with, of course, with Clint Boyer and his brother Kyle. Kurt Busch did bring a lot to the table for Fox Sports 1. I think it's going to be really, really, really fun to see him in the booth. I think he's going to bring a lot to the table. And like Jay McMurray, who's been doing a really good job with Fox, I think he's one of the better people, and I think he should be in the booth instead of Jeff Gordon, in my opinion. But I digress. I think Kurt Busch will bring a lot to the table. Maybe this will be a future gig for Kurt Busch. Maybe that's what he's thinking. Since he's probably in the latter stages of his career, maybe he's thinking about becoming a TV commentator. I would like to see Kurt Busch as a TV commentator, see what he can bring to the table. I think that's really awesome news to hear. Speaking of which, for the Truck Series, we got to talk about something maybe possibly going wrong at Nice Motorsports. If I looked at the entry list today, and a certain driver was not racing this weekend. Ty Majeski is not listed on the entry list, and he's a full-time driver in the Truck Series, and Trevor Bayne is driving the 45 car. I have a really bad feeling that Ty Majeski is unfortunately out of a ride at Nice Motorsports. It's no confirmation on this. This is just a rumor that I've been hearing. But when I see him not on the entry list, there's going to be speculation that he's possibly out of a ride. And if it is true for Ty being out of this ride, it really, really sucks. I think what Nice's Motorsports expectations are is they want him to perform like Ross Chastain did. And while he's not performed like Ross Chastain, he's not performed terrible. But honestly, I thought he would probably have a win by now. I think he's one of those drivers that is having issues with a lack of practice. If you look how he did in the ARCA Series, granted last year ARCA was a lot less competitive than the Truck Series this year. I think it's another thing. The competition level is a lot tougher in the Truck Series compared to the ARCA Series. There's not as many competitive cars in ARCA right now, even if you look at this year, than the NASCAR Truck Series. I mean, the Truck Series is the most competitive it's been, in my honest opinion. And Ty Majeski's not even in the top 15 in points, but man, he's a rookie, and his expectations are through the roof. I think there's a lot of drivers that have, been affected by the outcome of this. Look at Kyle Busch this year in the Cup Series. Look at William Byron in the Cup Series as well. Look at Matty D. Look at Chandler Smith. Look at all these drivers have been affected by having no practice or qualifying. If he's out of a ride, that's going to be such a great shame. Maybe this will give Trevor Bayne the rest of the year. I don't know. Maybe it's just a one-time deal, and he's maybe just taken off because he's not doing as good as they thought he was going to do. But he's been performing better than everyone else at the team, like Natalie Decker and Carson Hocevar. He's better than those people. And no offense to Ross Chastain, but Ross Chastain is a Cup caliber driver, and I'm a huge fan of Ross, and I like Ty Majeski a lot. He's a great driver. He's done great in the late models. And if he is out of a ride, that is going to be a great shame because Ty Majeski, I think, brings a lot to the table, for that team. And it's a great shame, possibly, that he's out of a ride. I hope it's not true that he's out. We haven't got announcing yet, but I hope it's not true that he's out. I really hope it's not. Now we get into the next story. The NASCAR Hall of Fame is going to be reopening on September 16th with reduced capacity and enhanced health and safety measures. So the operation hours are 10 to 5. Tuesdays are going to be with private meetings and events that are going to take place there. Really cool. The NASCAR Hall of Fame is going to be open up. Of course, they're going to be doing health safety measures. If you didn't hear the news recently, North Carolina is starting to slowly but surely reopen. They're not reopening the full capacity like Florida has. We look at Florida, there's a lot of cases happening down there. But if you look at North Carolina, they're taking it, they're opening up very, very slowly certain events. People think, there's going to be a resurgence of COVID-19. I really don't think that's going to be the case if you open things up really, really slowly. And, of course, you have these health and safety measures and people follow them. But really cool. NASCAR fans going to be reopening up. I'm really happy for that to take place. And I'm glad for that news. And now we get into the final story and possibly one of the biggest news stories of this year up to this point. Something I did not expect to happen, and I don't think anybody expected to happen. Auto Club is going to become a half-mile short track. NASCAR is aiming to begin construction following the 2021 race weekend, and this event is supposed to start taking place in 2022. I mean, honestly, I am beyond shocked and beyond surprised. Something I did not expect. It really sucks for Auto Club because I think Auto Club has been ruined by the package, if we're going to be honest. I think the high downforce, low horsepower package has kind of ended up affecting the outcome of the race there. So I think this year's race, last race, is actually not too bad. But 2017 and 2018, even 2016 in a sense, were not great races at Auto Club or National Speedway. But why couldn't we just, get rid of, maybe, Texas, one of the races at Texas or one of the races at, Pocono, maybe, and have it as a short track? It's just, it sucks that Auto Club is going to get cut because it is a fun racetrack. But if it means more short tracks in NASCAR, I'm all for it. I would rather see a lot more short tracks than these intermediate tracks. I think it's going to help, like, make the schedule a little more equal on the race because there's too many intermediate tracks, in my opinion. I am beyond happy that we are going to see more short tracks on the schedule because this pros is going through, and man, the fact that Auto Club is going to become a short track is really exciting too, in a sense, because it's going to look like Martinsville, and what it looks like from the papers you guys see on the screen, we guys have seen, is it looks awesome. It looks like a paperclip track. I'm beyond excited for short track, especially with it being the next-gen car coming around in 2022. Man, NASCAR is headed in a different direction. I mean, if this is one of the things that are planning for the long-term future of NASCAR, I am beyond excited for NASCAR. And with all these things that are coming into fruition, all these changes happening in NASCAR right now, it's just incredible. And with the next-gen car coming around the corner, you know, crazy schedule changes, one-year deals where we might see some tracks that have 2 races get cut to 1, like we've seen for, like, Nashville. I am just beyond stoked and excited for the future of the sport right now. You know, I think that this current leadership of Steve Phelps and, of course, Jim France and other people like Mike Helton, that group of people knows what they're doing. They're doing an awesome job, and I'm really glad at this kind of place. And I think Roger Penske, if I'm not mistaken, I think he works with Auto Club, if I'm not mistaken, a little bit. I think he built the Auto Club International Speedway, if I remember correctly. I am just so excited for another short track. I'm all for it. I'm just going to say it sucks it's got to be Auto Clubs. I do like Auto Club the way it is, but I am for sure for more short tracks on the schedule because I think NASCAR fans do want more short tracks and they do want more road courses. I think a lot of fans are tired of these intermediate tracks. Sometimes the intermediate races can be good, but I would rather see a short track race where guys are beating and banging on the front stretch and the back stretch, beating into the corners, bumping runs left, right, and center. I would rather see that than just intermediate races because I think short track races do put on a way better show than mile-and-a-half races in general. I think short tracks, except last year's package course, which the races were terrible, but the fact that we're going to see Auto Club be converted to a half-mile racetrack it makes me so happy right now. You guys have no idea. I'm gassed right now that we're going to see a short track. I'm just so happy right now. There's so much good stuff happening in NASCAR, except, of course, Germain stuff. But I'm just so happy there's a lot of good things happening in the NASCAR world. And I'm really excited for the future of this sport. Anyway, that is going to be all the NASCAR news I have for you guys today. So anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. Please like and subscribe to the channel. Turn notifications so you can be notified when a video does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Links description below for that. And comment your thoughts on today's video. What do you think about Auto Club converting to a half-mile short track? Let me know in the comments below. And what do you think about Germain's situation? Do you think they're going to sell at the end of this year or not? Let me know in the comments below. I really want to get that Q&A out here sooner or later. I know I need more questions for that. So if you guys have any questions for that Q&A, I might put that video in the description for you guys to go and comment your questions below so we can get that video out very soon. And once again, guys, thank you all so much for the support so far in 2020. It does mean the world to me that we've been able to get to where we have this year. And I am so thankful for everything we have been able to accomplish this year. Thank you guys for that. Anyway, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's video. And I will see you guys next time. Take care, everybody.